Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 5 and we're checking out the free DLC pack number 3. Now, I'm a little bit behind with this one. I've not actually covered this one yet, so yeah, we're doing it today. This pack came out a couple of weeks ago. It includes the Ducati Monster 900 and the fantastic Kawasaki GPZ900. So today I'm just going to do a couple of lap times around, this one's going to be the Kanto North with the Ducati Monster, and then we'll try out the GPZ Kawasaki Ninja very, very soon. I don't think I've said that correctly once, but you get the point, you know which bike it is. But feedback so far from, I did do 1 or 2 laps a moment ago, and I realised I wasn't even recording, so I'm back to doing it again. But the Ducati Monster, I actually really liked this bike in Ride 4, and I've got to say, I enjoy it here in Ride 5 as well. Seems like a very comfortable motorcycle to use. I would highly recommend giving it a try, and of course, massive thumbs up from Milestone. It's free, so why not give it a try? I think that puts us well over 500 bikes now within Ride 5. Might even be over 600 now, as for some reason I want to think there was 580 in launch. Now I'm not sure. I don't want to give you false information, so I'll have to look into that into the future. But for now, pretty good stuff with the Ducati Monster. I love this circuit as well, and a track that seems to really benefit the Ducati Monster 900. This is a completely stock motorcycle. If you've seen my other videos before, you know my usual plan. I start off with the standard bike and then we'll look into it in the future. Possibly not in career mode anymore, because I've kind of stopped doing the Ride 5 career mode videos that don't seem to be that interesting. The career mode's path is just all not that entertaining. So, very close to the wall there. Is that Marshall? He used to take photographs on Ride 4. The one on the left-hand side there, just coming out to the right-hander there. I'm genuinely curious whether he does still take photographs in Ride 5. And what I mean by that is just a cameraman that flashes as he goes past. I mean in the flash photography, not so much as flashing he was opening his opening his jacket with his Trilby hat on. No, nothing like that. Not here in Ride 5, at least, from what I know. But across the line then for the first time of the Kanto North, it is a 147.468. And I'll be honest, my mind has gone. Oh my god, that's really close to the wall there. Wow. I thought that was going to be it for sure. Beautifully done. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a bit all over the place today. A lot of stuff going on right now in my life, but as it is, 147.4, and I can't remember if this is the Kanto North or South. I always get this wrong. I think it's Kanto I can't say it. Kanto South. Apologies, guys. I do believe it is Kanto South. So if you want to replicate what I'm doing here today, or even compete with my lap time, just go onto your PC or console, whatever you're using. Use the Ducati Monster, all standard, and see if you can beat my lap time. I can't imagine it being too difficult, because still just getting back into the things with Ride 5. But I was complaining a lot in our Ride 5 Cups that we were doing that I had a lack of feeling with the BMW HP2, and I can honestly say I think it was just quite simply a bike issue, because since then I've done some online races with the Aces that weren't included in the HP2 Cup, and now with this Ducati Monster it feels great. Whether it's just simply the stock tyres feel better than the slicks, which would be a weird feeling, but it certainly does as we go very close to the wall again, and he's still yet to take a photograph. I'm going to be keeping an eye on him, because I like the opportunity of him taking a photograph. I've never seen his photographs, but I imagine they're quite good. But I imagine it's with a pucker camera as well, not just like some iPhone 3 camera, something like that on his mobile device. I think should be a decent one. Well, now on to the power. I didn't actually see what gap we were looking at in the sectors. So of course, only 2 sectors here in Kanto. So across the line, it is a 148.368. So we actually lost about 9/10 of a second there on that exchange. Let's see if we can do better than that. I guess me waffling on and chatting away whilst doing this video is not ideal, but it makes sense for this, because I have a feeling that we can still put in some good lap times, possibly a 46. I don't see why we can't find another half a second, and you can't be that close to the next increment of second when you're so early on into the session. As I go very wide there and bring it back in tight. No, that's yeah, of course it's invalidated. Yep, pushing a little bit too hard. That's 2/10 of a second found nonetheless, but it's not enough to get too excited about as we pass the marshals under the pagoda. Why don't the other marshals get pagodas? Well, that's another marshal that's got a pagoda with him. Love that word, by the way, pagoda. And look, there's a few more marshals. There's actually a lot of marshals. There's no fans. It's just marshals. I guess there have to be quite a few. Don't know if they're volunteering. But going into the left-hand side here, ahead of us, there should be a blue van. That's always a great indication on Ride 4. When that used to spawn in, as the camera would sort of bring the car in vision, let's say, it was a great spot to start braking as we go very tight to the apex again. We're getting closer and closer to that wall. Wow! Look how close we were to the wall there. Almost scratching the elbows on the Ixon leathers. That was great. I should have taken a screenshot of that one. That was fantastic. My fat fingers and thumbs can't reach across now to either press F12 or on the DualSense control, if you're on PC that is. You hold the PlayStation button in and then you press the right trigger. That also takes a screenshot on the fly. But getting to do that would mean I would then reduce acceleration because I would have to reduce the throttle. But now onto the right-hander. We actually lost a bit of time yet again as we go close to the walls again. Really dicing with death here in Kanto. Really doing what I can to go as wide as possible and to as tight as we can to the walls and the what would you call them, the fences. I guess they're not really fences. Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, it's a chain fence on the left-hand side there, surrounded by barriers, and there you got the traditional Asian fence there as well. Very oriental here in Kanto. So this time around, we will not invalidate the lap time. Actually, that's a point. The previous lap time was invalid, wasn't it? So a 34.2 in the first sector means we're up by a nice chunk of time. The Ducati Monster riding around beautifully. The one gripe I did have with this bike, I think in helmet cam, the speedometer didn't make any sense. It would just continue to lift. Even when you upshift, it would never retreat or retract. It would just stay the same and it would just continuously go up and down. Whether this has been fixed since the patch, I don't know. I'm a little bit late to trying it out, but I think I tried it when I first got the patch, got the pack, and then I didn't touch it since, and then back to it now to do it just for here for Christmas. So on to the power. Gonna get really close to the walls again. Oh, what? No! I didn't look like I touched it. I genuinely didn't look like I touched it. I got very close, but it didn't feel like I got any closer than we did on the previous exchange. Oh well. That is my fault. Apologies there, lads and ladies. That's certainly my issue. But I think for the next one, we have, what, 1 or 2 laps to go before I move on to the next motorcycle. Oh my lord, we're wide again. Alright. Rub your hands together, guys and gals. Enough messing around now. We got to do it. Let's get on that power. Let's not scratch the monster anymore. Let's get on the power. Let's get across the line to set a terrible lap time. But this is the one. I'm feeling good about this one. Here we go. Tight to the apex of turn 1. Steady on. Acceleration there was a bit of a dastardly move. But now we go to 5th gear. Do we downshift back to 4th? We certainly do. Now to 3rd, a little bit deep. As we keep bringing it in, keep bringing it in, keep it bringing in. And then back on the brakes into the left-hand side for Jean 2, which of course is turn 3. Now into the right-hand side for Shinrin 1. How close are we now? Don't go too wide here, because if you pull it in too tight, you get onto the power and go near the Olin signs there, and that really causes you to lose time. Wow, half a second it is. Half a second for this sector. Just keep it together and we can be back into the we'll be into the 146s for the first time in today's video. Now to the left-hand side, beautiful change of direction. I love that change of direction. It just bodes well for a nice, smooth riding style. Shout out to the Aces who've been mocking me for saying that recently. For my smooth riding style, where you go gentle on the brakes. You don't hit it hard, just gentle enough to slow the motorcycle down. Right on cue is there, right in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You'll notice how much front brake is actually being applied. You can go a bit harder here, but it still never reaches 100% press, so none of the presses are actually linear as we go close to the wall again, and that guy still hasn't taken a picture. I'm annoyed. Why would they remove that from Ride 4? That was so cool. I'm tempted to re-download Ride 4 just to get that part so I can show you what I mean. Maybe for a future video I'll show you, but that's a little bit frustrating, but hard on the brakes, lifting the Alpine Star's boot up and planting it back down. We'll go to the right-hand side. As it still is 5:30 here in Kanto South, we're going to charge down the wall and across the line underneath the Brembo signs. It is a 1:46.601. So those are my lap times on screen. Nothing particularly special, but wanted to show you nonetheless. I hope you liked that section of the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's move on to the final bike of today's pack. So now we move to the final bike of this pack. This is, of course, the Kawasaki Ninja, the GP900 or GPZ900 Ninja. And this bike is very special to the Aces for one man in particular, and that of course is Andy Yates. You may know him as Yatesy in our Discord server, and if you're not familiar with me or my guys and the moderators from the Discord server, then allow me to explain. Andy Yates has been here from the beginning, supporting the channel from as early as probably like a couple of hundred subscribers, and now we're to 10,000. He's one of my main moderators, and he was the sponsor for our DrAce British Superbike Championship, which was held in Ride 4 last year. He's a very special bloke and means a lot to the Aces, a great moderator, and really happy to have him. This section of video dedicated to him. So, Mr. Yates, thanks for watching the content and always supporting. This video is for you, but I want to do you proud today, so we're going to try and make sure with the stock GPZ900 Ninja that we get some decent, consistent lap times here in Brands Indy. I actually met Andy here at Brands, so this is even more special to make sure I don't bin it, make sure we don't scratch the paintwork because he'll kill me, and also to make sure we get a good lap time in. So let's see what we can do. The first lap is about to conclude, so let's charge down the straight and across the line. It is a 47.967, so into the Paddock Hill bend. I'm going to try and go for that tight apex. I do prefer the tighter apex rather than that wider sweeping line. Up again by 0.2 of a second, and then diving into Druids for turn 2. I'm dropping all the way down to first gear here. I find it just gives me that extra oomph coming out of the corners. I know some of you may disagree with that riding style where you don't need to because second gear is enough. I just find I get a bit more feeling and feedback with the DualSense controller. The vibration seems to go in a way that makes me go, I know how much to accelerate. Can't explain it, but it's just the way I seem to operate with the DualSense controller. But back on the power then, we're going to try and keep it in nice and tight. Not tight enough to go across that white line, but onto the white line, and you're okay. Across the line, it is a 47.7. Of course, no 1 minute here in Brands Hatch. If it got to a minute, I'm clearly not doing a very good job. Maybe the scooters might attain a minute. But into the first sector, again, very confident into Druids. I do love this corner. This section here, from Paddock Hill Bend to Druids, into the Graham Hill, it's fantastic. And this bike handles like a dream. The Aces were playing a few nights ago and they were using the GPZ, and they didn't have much to say about it, much positives. But I'm in the Andy Yates fan club here. I think this is a fantastic bike. It feels great with stock tyres. Handles really well. It's quite nifty and it turns quite nicely as well, and there's lots of feedback within the controller. So for me, this Ninja, the GPZ900 in the best colorway scheme possible, is great. I'm really happy with this bike. It feels much nicer than it did in Ride 4. I didn't ever get the achievement for getting level 5 affinity with this bike, which I apologise, Andy, what a way to find out. But if there was a thing in Ride 5, I think I would do it with this because it's a great bike. It's just so difficult to try and fit in as many bikes as possible within the time periods we have for the content here in Ride 5 because there's so many. Maybe we'll make a GPZ900 Cup, the Andy Yates special. Who knows? We've got plenty more to discuss on the upcoming Cups and Championships very soon. But out of the Clark curve we go. Watched Ryan Vickers crash there last year. As we now charge down the back straight again and across the line. Is it an improvement? It is not. We lost 33,000th of a second, but I am confident. Can we get into the 46s? Oh, I don't know, that's a big ask. Well, it's not going to be on this exchange. Well, it could be. We're only 66,000th of a second down. Into Druids, dropping down to first gear. Hard on the power. And I want to brake on an angle here, so it's just enough brake to slow the motorcycle down. Not enough to try and lose the front, but it's enough to reduce the understeer and pull you in. It's really helpful for the Graham Hill bend corner. And then out of Surtees, I think we've ran it too deep here. Shouldn't have dropped down to first gear there though. It doesn't have the same inputs or the same feeling as it does coming out of Druids, but as we get back on the acceleration with the stock GPZ900, we improved by 69,000th of a tenth. So not much. 69,000th of a second is not putting us into the 46s. 46 could be out of reach until 0.3 of a second in the first corner. Look at the bike sliding. Oh my goodness. We're on the limit here with the GPZ going into turn 2. Out of Druids, we tackled it well, and now into the Graham Hill bend. Come on. Or by 0.2. It's not quite what I need. I need a bit more. You have to go strong here into Surtees end. Tight as you possibly can. The front end is wobbling a bit. Pushing the stocks beyond their limits. Staying in second gear could be the key here. As we charge down the straight for the very final time. Maybe I can squeeze another lap in. Maybe. No, I don't think I can. I don't think I've got enough time to... Oh, we didn't need it! Oh, we didn't need it! A 46.7! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. 46.7 with the GPZ900 Ninja. So there you go then, guys. Lap times are on the screen. If you want to compete and compare it to mine, go ahead. You can do that now. Quick mention, bike is completely stock with no changes. So yeah, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure to make content for you today. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.